What's going on, traders? So today is Tuesday. I'm currently watching the market open news, and this is 9:42 a.m. Now currently this is the good trade I'm taking, and if you look at this, you notice that I have this markup of how much the stop losses and take profit is going to be as well. I'm going to quickly run through that, the idea behind it, and the psychological improvement that it will help me with. So let's quickly look at my phase two account where I'm trying to trade. So looking at this guy here, this is my phase two account. Currently my account is up about 59, and the account has been down with about 3.5% drawdown or thereabout. So if we go over to my client area here, this is my dashboard here. You'll see that okay, this is like the threshold for my stop out level. This is supposed to be my take profit or target. Once I hit that, my daily loss is this limit. I've been unable to hit the three consistent profitable days for the time being. So but let's take a step further back. So if we look at this here, this is the phase one that was passed. If you look at this, it has been deactivated. This has been disabled. Sorry, this one has been disabled, and this is the one that is currently active. So this is the particular one which we are looking at, the account matrix. So we've been in a very difficult gold market condition and also currencies at large, but I strictly want to focus on gold because it gives me a better ROI based off the risk I'm going to take and also other things in between, which I'm going to drop some nuggets. And one other interesting thing here is this is like the phase one which I passed, I got some incentives for that as well. So let's quickly look at the trade setup and see what's going on. So if you look at these guys here, this has been gold trapped in this region. Let me go on to the bigger time frame. On the higher time frame, we'll get to see this. You see that gold has been trapped around this region for quite some time now. This is where we had price, taking off from. We had this major push, we pulled back, we had this push, and we are currently around this region. Now, this region is, where we have the daily market open for today. And when I go down to like the 4 hour chart, from the 4 hour chart, we get to see price much clearly. So the volatility to your left you're seeing here is from the previous week trading candle where we had Powell giving some speech, and gold became so volatile and it picked up. So yesterday being Monday, I tried getting on this trade on the continuation, but price was not getting enough volume, momentum and all, and we were just lingering around this region for quite some time, which if you notice, you look at this here, we tanked, we grabbed this region here, we had this major insane candle. This candle is a huge volatility candle. So back to what we're looking at now. If you look at the H4, you notice that I'm targeting the next key value area. You just look to the left here. That's about it. So let's go into the hourly chart. Now on the hourly chart, you can see pretty much in this trade, and one of the last sign of my confirmation is I usually like to see price hitting the previous session's low. So this is like the Asian low. We actually traded aggressively back up. We trickled back down. We've hit this low and we bounced off in a very good way with a strong rejection candle. So for me here, I would like to see how the London market picks up momentum before the New York market open, or if we do get this momentum in New York market. So I'm still pretty much holding. I want to see how we evolve from here. So one other thing to note, guys, is the trade management is a whole different ball game. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to hold this trade all the way to this take profit, which is the target. I can actually close before then, but that's a whole different discussion for another day. So let's talk about this guy and this guy. So the psychological improvement I get from doing this is basically it helps me to remember, okay, this trade I'm taking, am I going in hard? Am I taking a high risk? Am I taking a mid risk or a low risk, basically? So once I see the risk to reward ratio and the monetary value, it gives me that sort of reminder, so I'll know how to be proactive with it. If I should be, really aggressive with management, if there's any sort of silly pullback or deep pullback, I close immediately. But if I'm on a low risk, I can stomach a little bit deeper pullbacks. Why? Because the lot sizing is not that huge, so it's not going to greatly impact the account. So that's just it. So this is Tuesday, and we're still around 9:47 a.m. So I want to see how it goes. I'm still, looking at the London market news. Nothing too serious coming out on the fundamental side. So let's see how today goes, guys. So guys, looking at this other account, this is my funded account, my live account, FX Live. These are positions I tried taking yesterday on gold. This one, price started losing momentum. I closed with small loss. The second entry, I closed again with a small loss. Same thing. And when we eventually did, as if we were breaking out from this region back to this high for gold to, take off, I still, took the entry again. It wasn't ready at all, and I closed, with just, tiny profits. So that was just like how yesterday's, position went. That was Monday. And if you look at this here, this is my stop loss for today's trade entry. This is where I took my entry, and price has been lingering, around my entry. And this is just basically what gold has been, doing so far. So this is my floating profit. Just price is still here to pick up, and this is pretty much, what price is still doing here as well. So I'm still pretty much holding to see how, the whole thing develops. If we do pick up, I will trade cautiously. I will like make my decisions based off how price action develops and all that. If we start to lose momentum, I might not necessarily allow this to hit my stop loss. I will close the trade. So it has been very, very challenging. My confidence has, dropped because of, the way the market is and everything. But what I resorted to is, taking low volumes just to, be in those positions that are still valuable for me based off my setup and how I trade. I rather take low volumes, and if the price picks up, if it gives room for me to, I scale in with, more volumes. If it doesn't, I'll close. But with low volumes, I can relax much better and allow price to just, do its thing, linger around and whatnot. So still pretty much holding. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. It's still almost 10 a.m. in the morning. So today is Wednesday, and I'm currently trading outside of the house. I'm at a workstation where you have a very good environment for people to work in and all of that. The only thing with this place, the problem I'm having, this is like the second time also I'm coming here. The previous times that I was here, I wasn't, with my gadget. I wasn't having intention to film or anything like that. But here we are today. Now back to the issue I'm having with this place. The elevator is broken. The last time I was here, I had to use the stairs, and you could imagine, taking the stairs all the way to the sixth floor, the sixth freaking floor. I'm going back and forth, maybe to take something from the car and what's not. It's not really something you want to, do like 2, 3 times in a day. If it's just once, that might be fine and all of that. But that's by the way. Today, I'm currently looking at NZDUSD, floating on a little bit profit. NZDUSD is by far not my kind of pair. I don't like it based on the volatility. The volatility is very, very, very small. It's quite beginner friendly, but I'm at that stage where I like to trade volatile instruments like gold, oil, indices, and all of that. But due to the way the market condition has been, this is where I saw a little trading opportunity, and I'm picking it up. The profit here is not really, it's not really a thing. It's just one of those trades that you saw your setup and you're just in it. So basically, looking at this here, we've had this push from this structural level, we pulled back, got my entry right about here. price is up a little bit around this region here, and it's still pretty much struggling to get momentum, which is one of those things about NZDUSD and AUDUSD. These pairs are quite slow. But away from that, so if you look at gold, gold was a trade I was taking earlier on this week. This gold has been very, very messy. It has been very, very inconsistent, and my trading account has still been on drawdown. I'm still pretty much floating around 3.5% drawdown. And gold, it did hit my stop loss. If you look at this, this is where the stop loss is. Took me out. I wasn't by my chart to get a second entry around this break here. Would have been a nice one if I could get another entry, at least ride this one candle or ride it all the way here. From here all the way down here should be roughly around about 150 pip. And looking at the way gold is, this would have been a very good one. But gold being gold and the market being what it is lately, gold was not able to keep up with this momentum. It came all the way back down, which if anybody managed to take this trade around here and held it, if you manage to get an entry around this region here on my chart. I'm not with my mouse. I'm kind of finding it a little bit difficult to handle the mic while still doing this. Oh, but that's still, let me just the mic here. So gold, if you have probably maybe managed to the entry here and held all the way to this region, naturally for me, my management style would be taking off 50% of my profit or anything, take my stop loss to break even and try to allow it to run to this target. But gold still failed to be able to hold off from this region or continue the momentum. He actually undid everything. Like he wiped out all of the previous buys and it came all the way back down to this region, which makes it really, really messy. Stayed around this region, picked up again, and I've just been all over the place basically. So I am really looking forward to, let me have my mic in my hand so that the audio will be very good. I'm really looking forward to having those market conditions where you know things tends to be a little bit much stable, because those moments are moments where you trade and you get paid for the work done. These moments are like those difficult and tough moments, which is going to be really messy if anybody loses their trading account, either funded account or still within the evaluation. Is going to be very painful, which is why I'm really much being very slow with it. This month, I've not been able to make any payouts, let alone even you know get out of drawdown. So it's crazy. These are just one of those things about trading and the mental game around trying to hold off around this tough market condition. It's not an easy one, which is why I do want to mix up outdoor activities and other things to be able to reduce the pressure, to be able to like distract myself from the chat a little bit, because too much of chat time when you're around this kind of messy market environment, it tends to sway you to take poor trades, trades that after taking it and closing with a loss, if you reflect back, you will see some poor decisions that you took and all of that. So, but again, in between, some little trades might sneak up on you again. So it's just one of those things, guys.